Do you lead a team that seems to lack drive and engagement? You're always needing to pump them up and push them along to get the things done that you need them to do. Well, that's less about them and more about you. So stick with me, because this week I want to delve into an area that's going to help you to have your team wanting to push you forward. Hi, this is Grant Herbert, VUCA Leadership and Sustainable Performance Coach, and today I want to continue our conversation in the relationship management competencies of social intelligence by helping you to inspire your people. We all know in this current workplace that we are engaged in that command and control doesn't work. Telling people what to do, managing what people do isn't the way to get things done. No one wants to be managed and pushed and told what to do. And if that's the type of leadership that you're still relying on, it's little wonder you're not getting the results that you want. I know in my career as a leader in corporate, I thought that all I needed to do was use my authority to get things done. And I found that to be the furthest from the truth of anything that could be possible. For me, I found that people need to feel like they belong to something bigger than you. It's not about the leader. It's not about the individuals. It's not even about the team. It's about the culture, the environment, and the relationships. Even motivating people is not your role. That's something they need to do themselves. And as the speaker in conferences around the world, I have people that will introduce me as a motivational speaker. And I quickly speak to that because I don't want to be a motivational speaker. Motivation is pumping you up. And the problem with that is if I pump you up and you get all excited and you feel like you're going to do something, and then when you get back into the real world and I'm not there to continually do that, then you're not going to have that same experience in the room. I like to say that I inspire the audiences that I speak to. I light a flame within them, not under them, and I help them to motivate themselves. You see, it's what people want to move away from and what they want to move towards that creates the engagement and the motivation. They are self-driven. We are all human beings and we have a free will. And what we put in is dependent on what it is that we think that we're going to get out. So today's leader needs to be inspirational. Yes, you need to motivate, but that's motivating yourself. And you need to inspire the individuals and therefore the collective of your team so that together you can get the things done that you're meant to get done. So what I want to do is just give you 5 things to consider as you become a more inspirational leader of people. Number 1 is to cast a collaborative vision. If your vision and the way you communicate and speak and everything you talk about is about you and what you want to get done, then people don't feel like they belong. Yet when you have a conversation around a vision of where we're all going and working together to achieve the end result, then people will be inspired simply by the fact that they belong to something. We've got those 3 universal fears that we always talk about: the fear of not being enough, the fear of not belonging, and the fear of not being loved. And when you cast a vision that says we're all in this together, everyone's as important as each other, and we're not able to actually get where we need to go unless everybody is involved, people feel attached, aligned, and engaged. When you get your people to a position where they are engaging themselves, you're going to have a lot more energy that you can put into things that are going to get you the results that you want. Number 2 is to communicate frequently. We've talked about communication a few weeks ago, and how it is a mutual exchange where we need to cut through all the noise. We need to communicate with people different to us in a different way. We need to make sure that communication actually takes place. Communicating frequently keeps everybody up to date. Anyone who needs more certainty, who has fears or challenges or worries, you can alleviate those by communicating on a regular basis. And as we said, communication is a two-way thing. So having a framework and an environment that fosters that two-way communication where people feel free to communicate with each other and with you. That's going to help people to stay inspired, to overcome any thinking that could be a roadblock and stopping them from moving forward, so that together you can continue as a team to go in the direction that you need to go. Number 3 is to develop others, to make sure as their leader that you look at the development needs of every individual. It's not about being a leader who is just focused on their own career. It's about guiding and mentoring the people that you lead, inspiring them to be all that they can be, and giving them the opportunity to learn things that they don't currently know, to develop skills that are going to help them not just for now, but to go to that next level. I know in my career, I had a tendency of holding people back subconsciously because I didn't want them to have skills that I didn't have, or indeed to have enough skill to be seen by the people above us as someone who could take my spot. But now I love to inspire my team to go further than they've been, to look at areas that they are strong in and continue to develop those, but to look at areas that are gaps that would stop them from going to that next level. People say that it's a challenge when you train people and then they leave. People ask the question, well, what if we train these people and then they leave? All we're doing is helping the other organization to have great people. And the counter argument to that is, what if we don't train them and they stay? So a leader that inspires their people is certain about themselves. They're secure in who they are, and they're not concerned about people developing skills. So make sure that you set aside time to sit down and discuss with each of your team members where it is that they could go. Number 4 is to model behavior. Rather than standing out the front of the room and telling everybody what it is that you want to see as the behavior in the team, the best way is to model it. People will take more from what they see you do and not do than they will from anything that you say. People are inspired by the efforts of others, by the progress and the success. So within that modeling, the other thing that we need to do is be okay with celebrating those wins that you have along the way and build that as a culture for everyone within your team. A leader doesn't always have to be out the front. We can lead from within, from behind. However, in terms of the behavior that you want in a team, a leader needs to be leading that. They need to be the benchmark. So if you want people to think in a certain way, you need to see yourself thinking that way. If you want people to behave a certain way, they need to see you behaving that way. Number 5 is to foster a culture of innovation. Innovation says, let's look at things differently. Let's see if there are other ways that we can achieve the result. It's about saying it's okay to have ideas and having a culture that says, give me those ideas because I don't know it all. Leaders are not expected to come up with everything. They're not expected to know everything. And it's good that they don't, because if they did, then their team wouldn't be necessary. So having a culture in your team that says, I need the ideas from everyone, so that with that, we can put together a collective plan to overcome the roadblocks that are in front of us and to get the results that we want. So there you have 5 things to consider, things that you may already be doing, that you could tweak a little bit, or things that you could introduce into the day-to-day relationship that you have with your people? Inspiring others is the key to leadership. It's no longer okay to just tell people and to light that fire under them or use the carrot and the stick. They need to want to be in your team and go where it is that you're going. Well, that's it from me for another week. Join me again next week as we continue going through these 10 competencies of relationship management by helping you to become someone who catalyzes change. I'll see you then.